First came mortals, then immortals. After mortals, there was no more cultivation of immortality. Today, we'll delve into Han Li's most powerful, representative, and powerful artifact for defeating enemies beyond his level during the nascent soul stage, the Three-Flame Fan. This video will be divided into 4 parts. First, the origin of the Three-Flame Fan. Second, how Han Li obtained it. Third, its power. And fourth, its advantages and disadvantages. First, let's talk about the origin of the Three-Flame Fan. This fan is not an ordinary magic weapon, but a replica of the ancient, heaven-reaching spiritual treasure, the Seven-Flame Fan. In the setting of the human realm arc, heaven-reaching spiritual treasures represent the ceiling of combat power. There are very few such treasures truly mentioned in the entire human realm, such as the Void Heaven Cauldron that Han Li already possesses, and the 8-legged Black Wind Banner and the Heavenly Demon Banner that appeared later. Any one of them would be enough to overturn the Gaju, a concept encompassing power, structure, and overall situation of the human realm. And in terms of attributes, the Seven-Flame Fan is the purest offensive spiritual treasure among them. With a single wave, it could unleash 7 innate spiritual flames, capable of scorching mountains and boiling seas, shattering all laws, a treasure even to cultivators in the spirit realm. However, the problem was that the materials required to forge it were far too demanding. Things like ancient divine bird feathers, innate fire essence, and rare, exotic flames were extremely rare, not only in the human realm but also in the spirit realm. Even with the forging blueprints, they were useless. They couldn't possibly be forged. Just then, the key figure, the Great Evolution Divine Lord, appeared. This peerless genius was not only a master of puppetry but also a prodigy in weapon crafting. After obtaining the forging method for the Seven Flames Fan, he didn't simply try to imitate the original. Instead, he used his extraordinary wisdom to improve it, reducing the original 81 main ingredients to 31, eliminating materials that were difficult to find even in the spirit realm, and replacing them with top-tier spiritual materials available in the human realm at the time. Ultimately, he compressed the 7 innate spiritual flames upon which the Seven Flames Fan relied into 3 top-tier spiritual flames that could be controlled and cultivated in the human realm. This modification gave birth to the Three-Flame Fan. Although its power was only 30% of the original Seven-Flame Fan, it was sufficient for use in the mortal realm. As for how Han Li obtained the Three-Flame Fan, many fellow cultivators believe he'd found a bargain, but my opinion differs. It's important to understand that Han Li invested a great deal of effort to transform this fan from an unwanted blueprint into a true weapon capable of defeating opponents of higher ranks. It wasn't a bargain, it was the culmination of his wisdom and patience. At that time, Han Li had just returned from the far west and, along with Nanlong Hu and Lu Weiying, ventured into the Fallen Demon Valley. After a life-or-death struggle, the three discovered the remains of an ancient cultivator, next to which lay a jade slip containing the crafting method for the Seven-Flame Fan. However, for Nanlong Hu and the others, this jade slip was essentially useless, as the valley held far more attractive elixirs and treasures. But Han Li was different. Always meticulous and with the secret assistance of the Great Evolution Divine Lord, he cleverly exploited Nanlong Hu and the others' psychology, easily acquiring the jade slip. Afterwards, Han Li handed the jade slip to the Great Evolution Divine Lord. After careful study, the Great Evolution Divine Lord stated frankly that the genuine Seven Flames Fan was impossible to forge, but a simplified version was highly feasible. Therefore, he reconstructed the formation, adjusted the proportions of the spiritual flames, changing the original 7 types of spiritual flames to include 3, including the purple extreme fire, and replaced the ancient divine materials with modern spiritual materials such as the Haoyang bird feather and the crimson fire flood dragon scales, finally finalizing the complete forging plan for the Three Flames Fan. Shortly after the plan was completed, the Great Evolution Divine Lord passed away. Han Li, however, continued to travel between secret realms and auctions, piecing together materials. After decades, he finally succeeded in forging the Three Flames Fan. It can be said that the Three Flames Fan was not a so-called lucky find, but rather the culmination of nearly a century of effort by Han Li and the Great Evolution Divine Lord, painstakingly crafted from a worthless piece of paper. The Three Flames Fan is purely an offensive treasure, without any auxiliary functions. After obtaining it, Han Li used it only for 3 things: killing, seizing treasures, and burning enemies. Its core power comes from the 3 top-tier spiritual flames nurtured within the fan. When the 3 flames unleash their power together, the sea of fire solidifies, transforming into a fire phoenix that swoops down on the enemy. Nothing can withstand it, whether it's a protective shield, a magical artifact, or even a physical body. It can even incinerate an entire mountain range or a restriction. The most astonishing aspect of the Three-Flame Fan is its ability to fight across realms. In the original novel, when Han Li was in the mid-nascent soul stage, he used this fan to directly confront and even severely injure a late-nascent soul cultivator. It's important to understand that in the human realm setting, a difference of even a small realm often results in a difference in combat power of tens of times. It's almost impossible for a mid-nascent soul cultivator to defeat a late-nascent soul cultivator. However, this ironclad rule is broken by the 3-flame fan demonstrating its outrageous power. The 3-flame fan's peak performance appeared in the battle at Kunwu Mountain, vividly illustrating what constitutes top-tier combat power in the human realm. First, it fought against the silver-winged Yakshaw, a late-nascent soul corpse cultivator proficient in wind escape techniques, and the Vajra shield. Han Li forced him back with a single wave of the fan. Next, Han Li faced Chen Lamor of the Shangyin Luo sect. Relying on the 3-flame fan in conjunction with other trump cards, he suppressed his opponent to the point of being unable to breathe. Towards the end of the dungeon, Han Li was surrounded by several late-stage nascent soul cultivators. A single sea of fire from the fan cleared the area and allowed him to break free. It can be said that the 3-flame fan is equally adept at one-on-one combat, group battles, breaking restrictions, and killing enemies. Moreover, its most valuable aspect is that this fan is not picky about who uses it. It doesn't require a special bloodline or exclusive cultivation technique. As long as one has mana, it can be activated. Even in the hands of a core formation or foundation establishment cultivator, it can serve as a life-saving weapon. This is truly rare among top-tier magic treasures. As mentioned earlier, the 3-flame fan is an ultimate treasure born for attack, therefore its advantages and disadvantages are extremely distinct. Let's look at the advantages first. First, its attack power is unmatched. It is one of the few weapons in the human realm that allows a mid-stage nascent soul cultivator to kill a late-stage nascent soul cultivator, an attribute unparalleled in the human realm. Second, its usage threshold is extremely low. It is not limited by cultivation technique or bloodline. Anyone with mana can use it. At the end of the human realm arc, Han Li left it to Nangong Wan before sneaking into the spirit realm, and she used it to resolve many crises. As for its drawbacks, each one is arguably fatal. First, its mana consumption is terrifyingly high. Calling it a mana devourer is no exaggeration. During the battle at Kunwu Mountain, Han Li was already in the mid-nascent soul stage and cultivated the Azure Origin sword technique, possessing mana far greater than ordinary cultivators. Yet, even activating the fan at full power consumed a third of his mana. The original text mentions that an ordinary nascent soul cultivator would be completely drained of mana after using the fan. Therefore, it can only be used as a trump card, not as a regular weapon. Second, its function is too singular. It's purely offensive, lacking in defense, teleportation, healing, and other defensive capabilities. Using it alone is tantamount to suicide. It must be used in conjunction with magical treasures like the Void Heaven Cauldron and the Wind and Thunder Wings. Third, it is countered by top-tier ice attribute treasures. Since its powers are all fire-based, its power is significantly weakened when encountering extremely cold objects like the Azure Ice Flame or the 10,000-year Profound Ice Array. While not completely destroyed, its destructive power is significantly reduced. Fourth, the crafting difficulty is extremely high. Even though the Great Evolution Divine Lord has simplified the material requirements, for ordinary cultivators, collecting just one piece would take decades. Even with all the materials, a Grandmaster of Weapon Forging is needed to complete it. Han Li succeeded because he had the advantage of having the Great Evolution Divine Lord behind him and being a master weapon forger himself. For ordinary people, even the blueprints would be beyond their reach. Alright, that concludes the comprehensive introduction to the 3-Flames fan. Finally, let's discuss what the 3-Flames fan means for Han Li's path of cultivation. From the perspective of the magic weapon itself, it is a reduced dimensional version of a heavenly treasure in the human realm, proving that human cultivators without spiritual bloodlines or innate treasures can still use wisdom and perseverance to replicate ancient divine power and break through realm barriers, perfectly aligning with the core theme of Mortals can also prove the Tao in a record of a mortal's journey to immortality. From Han Li's personal experience, it is a milestone in his nascent soul stage. The 3-Flame fan accompanied Han Li through the most dangerous and crucial period of his life in the human realm, from the cautiousness he displayed when retrieving the blueprints in the Fallen Demon Valley, to his decades-long perseverance in collecting materials, and finally to his godlike aura in the Battle of Kunwu Mountain. It witnessed his transformation from a low-key and cautious nascent soul cultivator to a peak cultivator in the human realm. It was Han Li's trump card, his confidence in dire straits, and the best reflection of his carefully planned and meticulously accumulated cultivation path. Throughout the entire human realm arc, the three-flame fan may not have been as inseparable as the azure bamboo bee cloud sword, as consistently present as the heavenly palm bottle, or as uniquely positioned as the eight-legged black wind banner, but when Han Li needed power most, it provided him with the most steadfast support. Alright, that's all for today's video. See you next time, brothers, bye bye.